Hello, my dear students. Today we are going to discuss a topic, and the name of the topic is Process and Factors of Curriculum Implementation. This topic is also very important. So, in this video, we will discuss certain points. Okay, the points we are going to cover through this video are: number one, curriculum implementation; number two, process of curriculum implementation; and number three, the last one, is factors influencing curriculum implementation. So before starting the video, it is a humble request to each and everybody to be very attentive. So without wasting time, let's start the video. So it is very important to understand the term curriculum implementation first. Okay, so to understand this, we have certain points. Just have a look. What are the points? Number one, putting into practice the course and the content, including the syllabus. So when we have this question, what is curriculum implementation? Then we have to answer that it is a way of putting into work, putting into action, or putting into practice, okay, the course and the content. That means the course, the subjects, the topics, subtopics, etc., including the syllabus. After planning the syllabus, after developing the syllabus, we have a sort of what abstract idea in front of us, so we'll have to make it concrete. Okay, for concretization of all these things, that means to put into practice and to put into action, we have to go through implementation. Okay, this is all about what? Curriculum implementation. What is the second point? It takes place when students are able to acquire knowledge, skills, and attitude. So here curriculum implementation is effective if the learners or the students, they are capable of acquiring knowledge, skills, and attitude in a positive manner. Getting the point? So this is all about this second point regarding curriculum implementation. What is the third point? Teachers and students interact in a learner-friendly environment. To make a curriculum implementation effective or fruitful, okay, it is a must that there should be learner-friendly environment, okay, and in that particular learner-friendly environment, teachers and students, they must interact with each other without any hesitation. Only then that particular curriculum implementation will be effective enough. Okay, so this is all about this term curriculum implementation. I hope you understood. Now we can proceed to the next slide. In this slide, we are going to discuss curriculum implementation process. Okay, so here curriculum implementation process is divided mainly into four stages. What are the four stages of curriculum implementation process? Number one, planning. Number two, content and methods. Number three, implementation. And number four, evaluation. So let us discuss one by one. What is the first one? Planning. Okay, so it is not only in case of curriculum implementation, in each and every case. Okay, if we want to do something, then there must be a proper planning. Curriculum implementation is also not an exception. If you want to implement curriculum in a better manner, in a better way, then you will have to have certain plan. Getting the point? For example, before developing a curriculum, before framing a curriculum, it is a must, it is mandatory that we should understand the needs of the learners. Getting the point? What are their needs? What are their desires? What they want to know? All these things we will have to keep in mind. So planning is must. Without planning, curriculum implementation is not at all fruitful or what? Effective. This is the first process of curriculum implementation. What is the second one? Content and methods. After planning, we'll have to choose the appropriate content. Okay, we'll have to choose the appropriate subjects depending on the needs of the learners or the students. And after that, okay, depending on the content, depending on the course, depending on the psychology, depending on their desires, needs, expectations, okay, all these things will have to choose the method means how to teach them. Okay, that teaching methods should be chosen very carefully, and it is also a part of the process of curriculum implementation. What is the next one? Implementation. That means curriculum implementation is also one of the important part of the process of curriculum implementation. That means how will you implement it for the benefit of the learners, getting the point? So you will have to implement, you will have to develop, you will have to plan the curriculum in such a way so that your objectives are achieved, getting the point, in a fruitful manner. So this is all about this particular point. And lastly, we'll have to focus on evaluation. Okay, after planning, after choosing the content or the methods, okay, after implementation of the curriculum, all these things are fruitful or not, all these things are in a sense we can say able to help the learners in the process of learning or not, the teachers are able to put their best in that particular process of teaching or not, all these things we will have to evaluate. Okay, so evaluation is also an important part of the process of curriculum implementation. Okay, so these are four stages that is related to the process of curriculum implementation. What are the stages? Number one, planning. There must be a proper planning. Number two, content and methods. You should in a sense we can say what, choose the content carefully. Okay, in on the basis of the needs of the learners, and after that you will have to choose the methods carefully too, and then you will have to go through the process of implementation. And when you go through the process of implementation, then you will have to also keep in mind what will be the process of evaluation. So these are all about the curriculum implementation process. I hope you understood. Now we can proceed to the next slide. So here we are going to discuss factors influencing curriculum implementation. Okay, there are different factors influencing curriculum implementation. What are the factors? Just have a look. Number one, availability of resources. So when you want to make curriculum implementation effective, then you will have to focus on the availability of resources. There might be physical resources, for example classroom, for example library, okay, for example playground, and there might be also information related resources, for example textbook. Okay, so all these things are available or not, or you will have to keep in mind. So this is all about the first factor influencing curriculum implementation. What is the first factor? Availability of resources. Okay, what is the second point? Motivated faculty and staff. If you want to make curriculum implementation effective, definitely there might be what, there should be motivated faculty and staff. The faculty should be motivated, they should be enthusiastic, they should be well qualified, getting the point, they should be competent enough, and also they must have mastery over the subjects they teach to their learners. So this is also one of the most important factors influencing curriculum implementation. What is the next one? Linkage with industries. Now this factor is related to the economic development, getting the point. So when we encourage students to go through the process of education, that means in practical sense we motivate them to develop their life, getting the point, to upgrade themselves to a better lifestyle. So definitely industries are related to the economic development of a country. So in that sense, from that particular point of view, we can say we must have a direct or indirect linkage with the industries. When we plan or develop curriculum, there must be a proper linkage with industries so that we can have economic development in the country. So this is all about this particular factor. What is the factor? Linkage with industries. Next one is leadership. Now when you are going to implement curriculum, then if there is not a proper leadership, okay, then there might be certain chaos, okay, there might be certain confusions. For example, if the leader is not efficient, then he or she will never be able to make it sure that the learners are able to learn properly or not. Getting the point? Apart from all these things, if the leader is not efficient enough, then the faculties, they might not be motivated, they might not work properly. Getting the point? So the leadership is also one of the factors influencing curriculum implementation. As a good leader, okay, the leader there inside the institution, he or she will have to monitor all these things, either the resources are available or not, either the faculties are working properly or not, either they might they should need any training or not. Getting the point? So all these things he or she should keep in mind. So from that point of view, we can say leadership is also one of the factors influencing curriculum implementation. What is the next one? Learner is also a factor influencing curriculum implementation. So when you are going to implement curriculum, then make sure that the learners needs are the center point. Getting the point? So we must understand what are their needs, we must understand what they actually want, we must understand they are interested in that particular subject or not, we must understand how to motivate them. Otherwise what will happen, that curriculum implementation will never be effective. So from that point, we can say learners are also one of the important factors of what curriculum implementation. Next is curriculum. That means curriculum itself is a powerful factor influencing curriculum implementation. Getting the point? So the curriculum you are going to develop or plan, okay, or implement, you will have to make sure that that curriculum is realistic or not, that curriculum is fruitful enough or not. If you make a curriculum that is not at all realistic, it will never help the learners in future. It should be what? Futuristic enough, it should be realistic enough, otherwise that curriculum implementation will never be effective. So this is all about this particular factor, curriculum. Okay, and lastly we have environment and culture of the institute. Getting the point? So this is also one of the important factors influencing curriculum implementation. There must be a good environment inside the institute, there might be a particular culture, okay, that should, in a sense we can say, automatically motivate not only the teachers but also the learners, okay, to work on properly there inside the campus. Okay, so there should be proper work culture, there should be proper housekeeping. That means the teachers, okay, the principals, there might be a particular good relationship among themselves. Otherwise, if a good environment is not formed, if a good work culture is not provided, then that particular curriculum implementation will never be effective enough. So lastly we can say environment and culture of the institute is also one of the important factors influencing curriculum implementation. Okay, there must be neat and clean environment. Okay, otherwise that curriculum implementation will nothing but it will be nothing but a big zero. Okay, so I hope you understood all these factors influencing curriculum implementation. Thank you. uh, Stay safe.